So what's up, guys? Haven't been around for too long, but I'm back, and I've had this guitar for quite some time now. I got this guitar back in, I want to say something like September or October of 2013. It's an LPJ, 2013 LPJ. Actually, I think it might be a 12. But, like most people, I modified it a bit and put different rings on it. I pulled the pickups out of the wooden one I have of this. I have a chocolate one. And that one actually came with burst buckers, right? I pulled those and put them in this guitar because I love this guitar more. And, I drilled 2 holes into it to get the cream pick guard on it. Put new cream rings, cream switch thing, and that's pretty much all I've done to it. But she sounds great, I think I bought it out the door at Guitar Center in Plano, Texas for like 600 or 625 or something like that. And so, that was my little kitten if you heard her. So yeah, we're just playing the the Gibson LPJ, burst buckers in there, swapped out plastic. We're going straight into a Fender Mustang version 2, Mustang 1. So it's a Mustang 1 version 2. And, we're actually on the basement setting right now, and I've just kind of tweaked around with it. And I really haven't hung out too much with the computer aspect of that rig. But I've been able to make some, decent tones, so... if all you had was $100 to buy on an amp and, like, leave the country with one guitar, that would probably be a good amp to do it with. No pedals, just the amp. The meters on the little camera I'm using here aren't exactly spiked out, so maybe we will raise the output a little bit just so we can get some better, because I don't have a preamp on this. I just have the SM57 running Phantom into a jam hub, out the headphone jack of one of the Pi pieces into the line in of the Zoom Q4 camera. Good guitar, LPJ. So this is what the LPJ Rubbed Gold looks like when you put cream shit on it and, nickel plated pickup covered pickups, right? So these, in this case, it's the burst buffers. That's the delay in the amp. I'm not sure which. I think it's like the green patch on the delay section. And you know, there's no modulation. I don't think I put modulation on this one because some of them I actually use the vibrato. I like the vibrato. I like a nice 5-tap delay, like 5 of them there. You can hear 5. Yeah, 5 of them. So it's August 3rd. Had a couple of family birthdays, you know, that kind of thing. Sorry about that. So it's been a good week, you know, good couple of months this summer in Texas. It's been, I think the highest I've seen was about 102, 104. I don't think I've really seen it above consistently like we did last year. Last year was like 115 for a couple of days there, and definitely over 100 for about a month. So that's really good, you know. It's good that we haven't exactly died out here. You know, one of the things about this amp right here, this little Fender I Mustang version 2, is that the mid characteristics of all the amp presets are unique. And, you know, it's kind of, you know, once you jump into one at first, it's like, it's too much mid, or it's not enough mid, or it's too mid, right? You know what I mean? Sometimes when it's kind of squawky right in the center. But once you spend a little bit of time with it, you can kind of get used to it and find a way to make it work, right? And I really like this amp because it's somewhat characteristic of a tube amp. I've been on the neck, and I went to the middle for a little bit, but we're still on the neck. With the amp at breakup, and all I did was raise the volume. I don't have any pedals on this amp right now, just a guitar input. big fan of this amp. If, you know, that's all you got. You don't feel like fucking around with a bunch of pedals all day long, or one cable, one guitar, one amp. That's really a good way to do it. I like the SM57 through it. I also like the SM57 through my Fender Blues Deluxe over there. You know, a lot of pedals on that amp just to get it to do what I want it to do. Whereas with this amp, I just kind of plug it in and it's there. On the bridge, I was cranked up on the bridge at 10. See if we can get anything clean out of it in the bridge, right? So yeah, that's one of the Fender, straight up Fender presets on the amp. I really haven't done much to it except this added delay. And I'm in the green bank, so if you know anything about these amps, you know that the green bank is pretty much like the default bank. Just kind of hanging out, grooving in there. It's kind of like my little guitar corner in the living room. You know, I got Chinese fake Gibson right there, completely hot rodded, hot boxed out. Got my wedding 2012 Gibson USA studio, and incidentally I changed the pickups on that. I don't know if you can see it, but I had put what are called Calig pickups in the bridge, so I got like an Alnico 2, really cool pickup, not hot. I was trying to go for cool, and then I used the you know, my regular Dragonfire, right? The Dragonfire, what the hell is it? It's a Dragonfire fat screamer in the neck, coil tapped. And so I got rid of that whole electronics, the whole electronic, you know what I mean? It's like a PCB, right? On everything Gibson new, except for the custom shit, to my knowledge. Everything's coming out with a PCB. And, you know, it's cool, it's clean, it's nice, but, you know, it's a little bit muffled, because once you put real pots, real caps, real wire, nice wire, you know, like the real 50s wire with the ground shielding around it like I did on that one, the guitar, I mean, the responsiveness, the dynamics, all that stuff really comes out. So, you know, it doesn't take much time, doesn't take much know-how, just soldering iron. If you have one of these, you know, like 2013, 12, 10, 11, 14, 15, and they had that electronic PCB in there, yeah, don't be afraid to take it out. So yeah, you know, we got the Gibson up there, Gibson 2012 Studio Vintage Bursts with upgraded pickups now. I guess I need to make a video for that. And then of course the 2013 Rubbed Gold LPJ. I didn't really charge my camera before I made this video, so it's sounding red right now, so it'll probably will die, but we'll play until it dies. And then maybe I'll plug it up or something. We'll come back and I'll plug in the 2012 and we'll just go through the Fender, you know, Mustang I version 2 and just keep playing with that. Because it's easy, you know, I don't have to do anything. Just leave it on one preset. It's got everything I need. It's dynamic. It distorts when I crank all the way up and it cleans up when I go down. So, you know, it's a good amp to have. So that's like the Bassman preset, a little bit of delay. Let me see if we can get some more gain out of it. What do you think? Let's see what we can get. I think I'm at 10 gain. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, we're at 10. Yeah, let's see if we can get some more gain out of this bad boy. love with this guitar. The gold isn't too blingy, and it's not too shiny. You know, it's kind of dull. It's kind of rubbed. And the only thing I don't like about this guitar is the neck. It's got that 50s profile, that baseball bat, right? Whereas that 2012 has the 60s profile, and it's like a future or modern weight relief. This does not feel to be weight relief much. Where, yeah, that 2012, because it has that modern weight relief, it's very acoustic, you know, very resonant when you're not plugged in. This one isn't too bad either. Yeah, any minute that camera's gonna die, so, you know, just play until she dies, right? That's usually how we do things. Not bad, you know, for just having a Shure SM57 and just the amp on, you know, preset number 2, right? And a little bit of finding my niche, right? Burstbucker Pros. I think she's really punchy. Like most older Fender amps were kind of punchy and very dynamic and very, like if you hit it too hard, they would kind of move a lot of air in a quick second. That's what this amp does as well, at least on this preset. I really can't find a heavy metal, you know, like thrashy, distorted sound I like on the amp, because like whenever you go into distortion mode, it like cuts out the open dynamic of the amp. It like compresses it and pushes it. You know, I don't like it. What I probably should do is put a pedal in front of it and see what happens there. Incidentally, we're not running any pedals right now, so it's just the amp. You know, typically I run that Exotic Effects EP booster religiously on everything, but it's sitting on top of the Blues Deluxe at this present moment. Not plugged in, not being used by me. Very dynamic, you know. In that instance, I didn't necessarily back down on the volume. All I did was just picked really softly. You know, you really don't see that in, you know, like signal processing amps. You know what I mean? The whole digital amp, you know, game. You don't see that kind of shit out there. The only exception to that is in the Yamaha THR series, right? I've had the 5. I had the THR 10X. I didn't like it. The distortion's blue dick bad. And I have the THR 10C, which is a great amp. Great amp. Like if you can't even get to the point where you can carry this thing, right? This little 1 watt or this little, you know, Fender 1 version 2 Mustang. If you can't carry that with you, and all you got is the side of a suitcase about the size of a loaf of bread of space to spare, then that Yamaha THR 10C is the amp for you. You get all your badass clean tones. You get great, you know, crunch tones, and some alright heavy lead tones, man. Alright, you know, it's not like, I'd say it's like 60 to 70% decent heavy lead tones. But like all the blue shit's there 100%, and then the crunch there is like, you know, 90% there. It's great. It's great, you know. Like I said, if all you have room for is a loaf of bread, you know, this is your loaf of bread. If that's all you have room for is that, then this is the amp for you. But if you have a little bit extra room and you can fit things like a, you know, a big real Fender, then get a big real Fender. But if you want to do a little bit more in terms of, you know, you can always mic an amp. It doesn't have to get over the drum set per se. You can always mic the amp into a house PA or a jam hub. Anyways, the Mustang's really nice. I would like to get my hands on the Mustang III. We're going to Dallas this weekend to go see Avenged Sevenfold with the Mayhem Fest. You know, Cannibal Corpse, Avenged Sevenfold, Trivium, Asking Alexandra, I think, and some other bands. A lot of other bands there, man. Korn's going to be there. So I'll definitely stop into the same guitar center that I bought this guitar in, right? And I'll look around and see if I can't find maybe like a scratch and dent, blemished, or incredibly used Mustang 3. That'd be nice. A Mustang 3 version 2. Bigger speaker. This has got like a little 8 or a 10. I don't know what the fuck's got in it. But it's nice. I was on a computer earlier plugged into that thing, and I was able to get a hell of a bass response, you know, on, you know, this little studio preamp setting. It's not like a modeling setting. I was able to get a really big bass response, more than I thought. You know, this is in an apartment, and a little Mustang 1 is up against the wall for all intents and purposes. But you see behind the Mustang, I got some really dense foam that I kind of put up against the wall to muffle out some of those vibrations. I also have some behind the Blues Deluxe over here, and in the guest room with my 2 Marshall stacks, I have a lot of foam against the wall there and in front of it. You know, high density foam is really nice. Kind of pricey though, unless you get it for free like I did. Yeah, you know, we're kind of on like 5 or 6 in rhythm, but let's see what happens when we go straight into the the bridge and it's dimed.